Tarantula police are not going to like this video. I repeat, tarantula police are not going to like this video. Welcome to Tarantula Beast. My name is Ryan, and today I am going to go over what is a very controversial topic in the tarantula hobby, and that is handling tarantulas, top 10 most handleable tarantulas, and how to handle a tarantula. And of course, there's some people that are okay with handling tarantulas, and there's some that are completely against it. And of course, I can see both sides' perspectives. I don't handle my tarantulas a whole lot, but when I do, I make sure it's safe handling, as always. I always take the correct safety procedures, and I'll go over that with y'all in this next clip as well. But anyways, I'll show you how to handle a tarantula, and then I'll go over top 10 most handleable tarantulas. So today I'm going to demonstrate using our Brazilian white knee. Let's see. It's very chill. Just let him guide him to my hand. There you go. So yeah, you always want to test their temperament first. Seems a little scary right now, but that's just him being him. He is a little shy. But yeah, you want to give them a hand bridge if they decide to move around to make sure they don't fall or rupture their abdomen. Seems chill. I know he looks a little scared, but he's a shy little guy, but he does better with handling than most of these other tarantulas in our collection. So that's why I decided to use him as a demonstration. So yeah, always make sure it's above a soft surface like a bed or a couch, and make sure that the distance is as low between your hand and the surface as possible to prevent an abdomen rupture. So yeah, that's how you handle a tarantula. So coming in at number 10, we have the common pink toe, or Avicularia avicularia. This tends to be the most docile out of all the arboreal species, and there's a reason why so many people have them in their collections, and they make a great beginner species to start off with when you're getting your first tarantula. And although they can still be a little skittish and jumpy, it still tolerates handling a lot more than any other arboreal species. That might be my personal bias, but still. So coming in at number 9, we have the Brazilian white knee, or Acanthoscurria geniculata. This might be a personal bias as well, honestly, because out of all the tarantulas that we currently own, he seems to do the best with handling. He is a shy guy, though, but he doesn't bolt, he doesn't flick hairs, and he doesn't try to bite you or threat posture you, so that's why he's on this list. Number 8, I'm going to go with the Mexican red rump, or Tletocata vagans. This also might be another personal bias, but ours does pretty well with handling. She's very sweet. Although she can be a little unpredictable at times. She's only thrown up a threat posture like 3 times. She's only thrown one up at me once. And she's thrown one up at my girlfriend twice that I know of. But yeah, she's very sweet. She rarely kicks hairs, and she's very slow moving and docile. So yeah, Mexican red rump, number 8. And then coming in at number 7, we have the Mexican bloodleg tarantula, or a Fauna pelma bicoloratum. Aphonopelma species are usually pretty tolerant of handling. They very rarely kick hairs. They rarely ever throw up a threat posture. And Aphonopelma bicoloratum is no exception, as it is a gorgeous spider, and it is a much calmer version of its Brachypelma counterpart, the Mexican fireleg or Brachypelma bamey. So yeah, number 7, Aphonopelma bicoloratum. So number 6 and number 5 are super interchangeable in my opinion, but since this one is more likely to kick hairs, the number 6 spot goes to the Mexican red-knee tarantula or Brachypelma hamori. There's a reason why it is one of, if not the most popular species to start off with as a pet. It is docile, it is slow moving, it rarely kicks hairs, and overall makes a great pet to start off with, along with its very long lifespan. And the reason why it doesn't have the number 5 spot is due to the fact that they can still kick hairs. Not a whole lot, but still. So coming in at number 5 is the curly-haired tarantula, or Tlotocata albipilosus. Of course, like I said, it was interchangeable between that and the Mexican red knee, but the reason why it takes the number 5 spot instead is, although both are slow-moving, both are super docile, the reason why the curly-haired takes the tiebreaker is because it is less likely to kick hairs. So yeah, Tlotocata albipilosus or curly-haired tarantula, number 5. So coming in at number 4, we have the rose-haired tarantula or Grammostola rosea / porteri. I tried to use ours as a demonstration on how to handle a tarantula, but she wasn't in the mood today, so I decided to go with the white knee instead. But other than that, they're very docile. They rarely kick hairs. They rarely throw up threat postures or bite, but they can still be unpredictable. But they're very, very slow moving, so that's a big reason why I put them in the number 4 spot. Coming in at number 3, we have another Grammostola species, and that is the Chacogoldini or Grammostola pulchripes. Very laid-back spider. Rarely ever kicks hairs or throws up a threat posture. And I can tell you right now that it's the first tarantula that I ever had experience handling. And it was at a reptile expo. And it was super laid back, super chill. I mean, it did move around a little bit, but it was very slow moving. It did tickle my hand though, with the little hooks with the little claws on their feet. It did tickle. It did tickle a little bit. I can tell you that right now. And I did not expect it to tickle that much. But yeah, Chacogoldini makes the number 3 spot. Coming in at number 2, we have the Arizona blonde tarantula, or Aphonopelma chalcodes. The reason why this makes the number 2 spot is because it is super slow moving and super docile. It is known as the golden retriever of the tarantula hobby, and that is one that I'm striving to get in my collection as well. And they very rarely ever kick hairs, and I've never heard about one throwing up a threat posture. Like, I know it would take a lot to piss it off enough to that point to where it would give you a threat posture. But yeah, Aphonopelma chalcodes makes the number 2 spot. Number 1, it's the third Grammostola species on this list out of the last 4, which is crazy. And you probably already know what I'm talking about. It's literally the color of my tank top right now. And that is the Brazilian black tarantula, or Grammostola pulchra / Kuragai, whichever one is in the hobby. Of course, true pulchras are very hard to find in the hobby, and a lot of them that are sold as pulchras end up being Kuragais. But yeah, they look like the same exact spider to me, so I probably wouldn't care which one I got at this point. Because, like I said, it's super, super hard to find an actual pulchra in the hobby. But yeah, this species is known as the black lab of the tarantula hobby for a great reason. Very laid back, super tolerant of handling. I think it is the most tolerant of handling out of any tarantula species. And they almost never kick hairs. Like, almost never at all. Or throw up a threat posture. So, yeah. I think it is the most docile species of tarantula out there, in my honest opinion. Because, like I said, I've literally never heard about anyone being haired by one or threat postured by one. So yeah, that's why it makes the #1 list. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're against handling tarantulas, I totally get that. Because they typically don't like to be held. It stresses them out if you overhandle them. But yeah. Anyways, I'll see y'all next time.